Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here, episode 15, our second big pay-per-view event of the series, and it's a pretty unique one. This is Forbidden Door, in case you didn't know and you couldn't see the title of the video or the thumbnail. This is where AEW and New Japan collide, essentially opening the Forbidden Door to allow wrestlers from two different companies to meet and fight each other, or fight with each other, you know, depending on what they get up to, I guess. Fun fact, and I might be wrong, so feel free to correct me, but I believe the term Forbidden Door was something that I think Hiroshi Tanahashi said when Chris Jericho first appeared in New Japan. He said it was like opening the Forbidden Door because Jericho was a man of, you know, WCW, WWE, and it's very rare that huge stars from there do anything other than WCW or WWE. But enough waffling. We have a huge show tonight. I'm very excited about the prospect. I mean, on paper, in real life, this show is the fucking dog's bollocks, mate. But this is TEW, so some of the numbers may be a bit lower than we want, mainly because some of the Japanese talent that I've hired or loaned, they don't have the greatest of pop in America. So the way that the rating system works, I think it's like a 60-40, 70-30 split of skill and popularity. So yeah. Anyways, let's look at our backstage incidents. Why are there backstage incidents? This is an event. We should all be happy. Sawyer Wreck, what do you want? Sawyer Wreck lifted the locker room when she organised and then won a video game tournament. She has the people person personality. That's a good one to have. And Brody and Julia, pregnant Julia Hart, what's he doing to her? Passing on selling. Oh, she's going to need that in the delivery room, isn't she? You know, you got to make it look like you're actually giving birth to a baby, not giving a baby. Either way, I'm very excited about this event, so let's just get straight into it. Yeah. Here we go. AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Forbidden Door. And we open with our 30 women Battle Royale. Yep, as you can see, there's a lot of unfamiliar faces here because your boy loaned a lot of Stardom talent for this. So technically it should be AEW, New Japan and Stardom Forbidden Door, but either way, so as we can see here in a poor pre-show match, I mean it's 30 women ranging from pretty decent to complete arse. Kairi Sane wins the Battle Royale in 34 minutes 18 seconds. The other members of the final four were Ruby Soho, Saraya, Thunder Rosa, and obviously Kairi. Ruby Soho was the final elimination and Kairi got the most eliminations. Wow. For this match, I was kind of in and ahhing between a host of names. And it kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what? Let's just let TEW decide. And who's surprised? It picked probably the woman who has the best pop and the best skill in the game. I'm not saying in real life. But, you know, Kairi's great anyway. So, yeah, Kairi, who is on loan, has won the tournament. So I'm going to have to reloan her or try and sign her in order for her to get that IWGP World title match. But let's just quickly run through who else was in this match that we signed. We had AZM. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not too sure. I've seen a few of her matches. I'm keen to watch more because heard nothing but great things. We also had Kairi, as we know. We had Julia as well, who's a fast growing megastar. Again, don't know much about her, but I saw the name and was like, oh, I've read that name before. Mayu Iwatani, who everyone knows is like the GOAT over in Japan at the moment. She's killing it. Fun, and she's also the person who defeated Mercedes Moné in real life for the IWGP belt and is the current champion in real life. So if she drops the belt anytime soon, you can probably guess when this was recorded. We had a few more names. Let's just scan across because they're not in the picture. We had Utami Hayashita. Not too sure who she is or much about her, but she had quite good skills and obviously I wanted to bring in as many as possible. And I believe that's it. Everyone else is our roster. Yeah, we've got, and I think that just goes to show, because obviously we've got 2 women's matches on tonight's card. So that's 4 women, actually, well, 5, because Britt Baker will obviously be by Hikaru Shida's ringside. So that's take away 5. We've got all of these, and plus there was a handful more that I didn't include. So yeah, the women's roster is stacked. So well done to me on building a decent roster, but we've spent way too long on this match. Kairi gets a IWGP Women's World title shot at some point. I'll try and make it sooner rather than later because I'll forget. But that's our first pre-show match. We have 2 pre-show matches because honestly couldn't fit everything on the main card. And it is our World Trios Championship match because it felt like the least AEW New Japan match. So here we go. Let's see how that one turned out. 65. So in a decent pre-show match, House of Black defeat Best Friends when Brody King pins Chuck Taylor with the Gonzo Bomb. So this is defense number 7 now. Can anyone dethrone the House of Black? Let's just take a look at ratings. Orange Cassidy, who is no longer international champion, had the best showing of the match with Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews second, followed very closely by Brody King and then Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. 65 rated, fairly decent. But that is the end of the pre-show, and with a card like this, it's very hard to decide what opens and what closes. If you've read the description or seen the community post that I did earlier in the week, you will see what the main event of the show was. Well, you actually see the running order of the show. And we are opening with one hell of a doozy, we hope. It is the best in the world match. CM Punk, Kazuchika Okada. Who's your money on? Let me know, because we're going to find out who wins in 3, 2, 70. Okay. But in a superb match, apparently, Kazuchika Okada defeats CM Punk in 16 minutes 21 with a Rainmaker. So, I think that just goes to show that right now in TEW, Kazuchika Okada is the best in the world. How is this going to affect CM Punk? We'll have to wait and see. But Punk challenging and unfortunately not fulfilling on what he wanted to do, which is defeat Kazuchika Okada. So yeah, that's got to be one hell of a knock to his ego. Got the show off to a strong start, which is great. 70 rating is fine. I wasn't expecting this to be amazing because I don't think Punk's in-ring skills are maybe the best because of his age, and also Okada doesn't have the highest popularity in the US either. I think it's like mid-40s, which sucks. So much so that when I booked these, when I said that Okada would win no matter what I did, whether it was flash pinfall, interferences, a DQ finish, obviously none of that I was going to do. CM Punk was furious at the booking, so I think post Forbidden Door I might just have to give him a couple grand just to make him happy again. But yeah, 70 rating, show off to a strong start, that's all that matters. Following this though is the Super Elite versus Los Ingobernables de Mundial. And if you remember, guys, Los Ingobernables de Mundial is a 5-man team, whereas the Super Elite at the moment is a 4-man team. Adam Page said that he wasn't joining them, so who the bloody hell is going to join him? Let's find out. And in a freestyle segment, the Super Elite reveal that their 5th member is none other than very good friend of Kenny Omega's, you could say golden lover, Kota Ibushi. So Ibushi returns to join the Super Elite of Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. So let's see how this Super Elite team do. 72. Okay, that's pretty good because some of these guys have like no pop in America. But yeah, the Super Elite defeat Los Ingobernables de Mundial. Also, I've had to make factions, like temporary factions, just to get all of this, but Yeah, sorry. They defeat when Kenny Omega pins Hiromu Takahashi with the one-winged angel. In terms of ring work, Omega was head and shoulders above everyone else, which I don't think is true because you've got Ibushi, the Bucks, Andrade and Rush have been great lately, and then you got all these three guys. These are all like, you know, this is a fierce team if you think about it. Like, let's be honest. I think in real life they'd probably win. But yeah, let's have a look at the ratings. Adam Cole was not the worst. He was the second worst. Ibushi was the worst with a 62. Wow. I'm going to have a look at his stats after this. Nick Jackson with a 75. Matt with a 69. Oh, hey. Kenny 84. Shingo 67. Yeah, these ratings have definitely been bombed because of popularity or something. Let's just have a look at this. Match got the crowd hotter. Nice. Cool. So the Super Elite win. Are we going to do scores? So is that 1-1 New Japan All Elite Wrestling? Yeah, no, I don't know. Let's not do that. That's sad. But 72, decent. I do think that we're going to get maybe low 70s, high 60s for quite a lot of these just because of the thing I've mentioned a million times. But following this match is Bryan Danielson's Earn My Respect Open Challenge is what we're calling it. Even though it didn't work earlier in the week because of the BCC's interference with his match with Sammy Guevara, Bryan Danielson happens way too much. Bryan Danielson is pretty confident it's not going to happen again. So here he is, comes out. He the offer is open to anyone. AEW, New Japan. I don't care where you're from or where you wrestle or where you're based. If you want to step up and earn my respect, have at it. And go on, guys. Who is it? God, have a think. Anyone. Anyone. Go on. No, it's not them. It is, in fact, John Bloody Moxley. He's sick of Daniel Bryan. He's like, you know what? If you want to earn someone's respect, I think you need to earn my respect. Because clearly there's no respect between these two people at the moment when it comes to... So I've got a pen in my hand. Let me put that down. When it comes to the BCC, because I think Moxie thinks he's the leader. Bryan thinks he's the leader. So why not? Let's have at it. So in a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, Bryan Danielson comes out on top when he makes Jon Moxley tap. Oh, that's got to hurt with the cattle mutilation. So Bryan Danielson with an 89. Whoa. Jon Moxley was really off his game and got a 65. Oh, imagine if he wasn't off his game. We got an 80 and he was off his game. Wow. But yeah, Bryan Danielson gets one up on Jon Moxley. What's going to happen here? Like, what's going to happen with BCC? I mean, it's all up in the air, isn't it? It's just pure chaos. But Bryan Danielson gets the win. So we're going to have to see what happens in next week's episode just to see the fallout between Danielson and Moxley. And what's Claudio and Wheeler going to do? Oh, it's troublesome. But nonetheless, Danielson gets the one up. He rolls out the ring after the tap and kind of just confidently shrugs, going, Moxley's furious, though. He's raging. Man's like spitting from his mouth. But following this match, we have our first title match on the main card, which is Mercedes Moné defending her IWGP Women's Championship against Athena. Mercedes Moné, member of the New Wave. Let me know what you guys think about that stable. I'm quite excited about what they could do. So let's see how this one goes. 72. Wow. I believe that is our highest rated women's match to date, which is excellent. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Mercedes Moné defeats Athena. So she retains her title with the bank statement. And that is defense number 4 of the IWGP Women's Championship. But she does have Kairi on the horizon, which I'm sure will be an incredible match too. So Moné with a 68, we love to see that. And Athena with a 62, we love to see that. Great match. Love that. This is what we need to build up even further. Awesome. Not much else to say about this. I imagine this would be one hell of a match in real life, and I really hope that one day we see it like outside of a WWE ring, because I don't know if they faced each other in a WWE ring, but now we need an AEW match or just something. But following this, we have got a weird match, because technically they're the same faction, but they're really not. It's Jay White's Bullet Club Gold accepting the challenge of David Finlay's Bullet Club, or in this case, Bullet Club Japan. Oh, no, it's not. Turns out we've got an interview segment. Missed that one. Tony Schiavone just tries to catch up with MJF, and MJF just doesn't have the time to talk right now. He's kind of like a little bit jittery, and he's, breathing like, trying to calm down a little. And Tony just says, MJF, are you nervous about tonight? And MJF just snaps. He's like, why are you talking to me, you fat prick? Because he's called Tony a fat prick before. He has. If you watch AEW, they hate each other. But yeah, MJF is sweating it because the title is on the line tonight in the main event against Will Ospreay. And Ospreay's no slouch. So nervy times for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. But as I said before, it's time for Bullet Club Gold versus Bullet Club Japan. But Keith Lee, if you remember from a few episodes ago, did sustain a calf injury. So I don't know if he's going to be able to perform or not. So we're going to have to head to the ring and find out. Of course he's not. So 85, my goodness. But Jay White comes out with Juice and Keith Lee, but Keith Lee's leg is heavily strapped up. And Jay White says, maybe it's about time, boys, that we introduce the newest addition to Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Club. You've heard of Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Now get ready for Hard Rock Chris Bay. That's right, I'm doing it. And out comes Chris Bay, and I must say, that rhymes. He fits in quite nicely, I think, especially this picture. I haven't seen a great deal of Chris Bay. I've seen a couple of matches. I know that he is Bullet Club in Impact. Jay White had a very brief stint in Impact where he basically was like, Chris Bay, Bullet Club, do it. All right, cool, thanks. So why not bring him over? So Bullet Club Gold is growing quite rapidly in the last few weeks, but we're wasting time again. Jay White, Juice Robinson, Keith Lee, Chris Bay. Keith Lee's obviously not wrestling, so it's going to be the trio of Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Chris Bay versus, I believe it is David Finlay, Evil, and El Phantasmo of Bullet Club Gold. Let's see how this goes. And in a decent match, Bullet Club Japan get the win against Bullet Club Gold. David Finlay pins Juice Robinson with the Celtic Cross. Jay White was head and shoulders above everyone else. What has happened to my boy Evil? Evil was penalized due to being in extremely poor form. New Japan. Evil used to be like one of the top guys. Like, I know that he's fallen off recently in real life, but why they got to do it to me here? To be fair, none of these guys have great pop or stats in the game, but what are you going to do? 60 rated match. Ugh. Poor Jay White having to carry this mess. Chris Bay with a 55, Juice Robinson with a 50. Oh, they're both better than that. To be fair, these three are better. I don't know about David Finlay. I don't get that hype, but these two are better than that. Either way, though, Bullet Club Japan have got bragging rights. They have defeated Bullet Club Gold, so that's not very good, especially after Jay White won the gold not 24 hours ago. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's fatigue. Let's blame it on fatigue. Although he was better than everyone else. Oh well. So by my count, Mercedes Moné technically she counts as New Japan, doesn't she? When you think about it, she's holding a New Japan belt. So I would say it's 3-1 because Bryan and Moxley are both AEW. Let's not keep count. But Bullet Club Gold lose. Oh, I think that's Jay White's first loss of the series. Ouch. Following this, though, we have got another women's championship match. It's Jamie Hayter against her haters, Hikaru Shida, who has Britt Baker by her side. So this should be a tasty one. And this is, of course, for the AEW Women's World Championship. Let's go. 67, nice. So in a decent match, Hikaru Shida has defeated Jamie Hayter with the Tamashi. And during the match, we also had Britt Baker run in attack and attack Hayter. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between, Hikaru Shida is our new AEW Women's World Champion. Wow. I didn't think Jamie Hayter would lose it this soon, but I mean, Shida's formidable. And when you've got Britt Baker in your corner, you know, anything can happen. She's a doctor. So looking at here, Jamie with a 65. She really stepped up today. Hikaru, not as much. Hikaru's normally the one standing out in every match. Yeah, wow. I wonder how Jamie's going to recover. Obviously, because of this, Hikaru Shida is now brandless, and Jamie Hayter will return to her brand, which is Dynamite, which is also the same brand as Hikaru Shida, so they can't really escape each other. But I'm pretty sure this isn't the end of this feud between Jamie, Hikaru, and Britt Baker. Whoa. Following this, though, we've got good old Christian Cage comes out and just says, as I said the other week, I am opening up my FTW World Title Challenge to New Japan talent only. So if there's any of you guys out back that isn't booked for a show and thinks they can take on Luchasaurus to earn a title match against me, bring it on. So who do you think has answered the call, guys? Let's find out. Jeff Cobb. Oh, what a beast of a man. And in a decent match, Jeff Cobb defeats Luchasaurus in just over 10 minutes with the Tour of the Islands. 63 mated match. Pretty good. Luchasaurus was off his game. So maybe if you were on your game, Luchasaurus, you might have won. But this is the first time Luchasaurus has been defeated this series. And the first time someone has won the challenge, which means they get a title match against Christian Cage. But Christian Cage is a slimy little fuck, because what he failed to share is that when you beat Luchasaurus, you have your title match against him right now. And in an extremely short match, Christian Cage defeats Jeff Cobb in 3 minutes with the spear, and Christian Cage makes defense number 1 of his world title. Christian with a 64, Jeff Cobb with a 68 in 3 minutes. That's not bad. Yeah, Christian Cage is a cheeky boy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was under the impression is you beat Luchasaurus and then you get a match booked in for a week later. Nope, Christian has found himself. I mean, he's the owner of the title. He makes the rules. And what a bloody genius he is. So yeah, 62 rated match. I wasn't expecting this to be anything special. But yeah, Christian Cage is still champion, and I'm sure this isn't the last we've seen of Jeff Cobb. He's got to come back, doesn't he? Let me know. Let me know if there's any of this New Japan talent that you want me to bring back at all, because that's normally what happens here, isn't it? Like, one of them will appear, they'll put on a good show, and they'll end up staying. So yeah, let me know. Obviously, some are on ironclad contracts, which you can't poach unless they run out of unless they're in the final month of their contract. But there's quite a few talent here that we wanted to. There was one talent in particular I wanted to bring in, and I completely messed it up. But you'll find out that story in a couple weeks' time, I promise. But yeah, Christian Cage still champion by nefarious means. We've got 2 matches left on the card. The following match is the 3-way tag team ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. If you hadn't seen my community post, I'll also put it in the description. Unfortunately, the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions were unable to be loaned to AEW. Due to this, we have replaced them with the Acclaimed, because we had the 3-way number 1 contendership match Lucha Brothers won that, which is why they're in this match. And then the following week, the Acclaimed did beat Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. So they are technically number 2 contenders, I'd say. But yeah, 3-way tag team match. Up next, FTR defending against Lucha Brothers and the Acclaimed. Let's go. 70. Oh, I thought it'd be a lot better than this, not gonna lie. But in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Lucha Brothers are the new World Tag Team Champions after defeating FTR and the Acclaimed when Rey Fenix retrieves the belt. And they have won the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Rey Fenix was head and shoulders above everyone else, as he always is, and Max Caster was the weak link. Anthony Bowens, though, sustained a back injury, and Max was off his game. That is not very good. What else have we got? Nope, everything else is cool. Let's look at the ratings. 87 from Fenix, 75 from Penta, 71-68 from Cash and Dax. Yeah, Max with 55, Anthony Bowens with a 66. Wow. FTR have lost their belts already. That's mad. So that means FTR are now stuck on Collision, whereas the Lucha Brothers can go wherever they want, which means they want to pay a visit to good old Pac. They're more than welcome to. So that's 2 title changes, I believe, so far tonight. Is there going to be a third? And up next is that match, our AEW World Championship. MJF defending his title against Will Ospreay. Let's go. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jeff. 80. Wow. Go on. So in a bout that had superb wrestling and good heat, MJF defeats Will Ospreay by pinfall with the Heat Seeker. MJF has made defense number 5 of his AEW World title, and from the looks of it, that was a clean win as well. Go on, MJF. Hold on a second. MJF had an in-ring performance of 91, and Will Ospreay with a 70. That's obviously averaged out with popularity and stuff. But MJF with a 91. MJF has put in the best performance of this series from anyone. That is incredible, and I'm so happy because, and I know that he's like a cocky heel that's just good on the mic, he's a great character, but I do think in recent months, in real life especially, he's proven that he's one hell of an athlete. Like, he deserves everything he's getting, and he deserves everything he's getting in this game as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. 80, that's fine for a main event. I think that's our joint highest rated match of the night, and I think of the series. But what we'll do is post Forbidden Door, like what we always do. I just want to do a quick recap of our creative, just to take a look at who our franchise players are, who's hot, who's not, just see if anything's changed or shaken up. But yeah, great main event. I imagine it was one hell of a match. Let's finish the show and see how we did. 81. I will take that. We increased our popularity in 9 regions. We would have gained popularity pretty much everywhere else in the world, but we didn't have many viewers there. Fair enough. Yeah, great show. A lot better than I thought it'd be, if I'm being honest. I thought we were going to get 60s across the board for a lot of these. I kind of already know who I'm going to give the 3 nods to, and I hope you guys all agree with me. First of all, MJF. We have to... What, we got told that they're awesome? Yeah, why not? And then I think it needs to go to these 2 women, Athena and Mercedes Moné. So let's go. Great performance. Actually, no. Let's point them out as a good example to the locker room. You know, this is what you guys can achieve. So yeah. So MJF is pleased. And there we go. That is AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. I'm going to cut it here because this takes forever to load, and we'll jump back and take a look at creative in a moment. Okay guys, before we jump into creative, I've strategically moved this window over just to avoid any spoilers in my little area down here. But just a little bit of news. I thought I'd just share some of the news. So we had a million emails here saying, so and so has left AEW, so and so has left AEW, because it's just all of the Japanese talent that I hired. But I got some 3 interesting emails. First one, Omos joins AEW. He chose to join us, so I just thought I'd flex a new signing. He's not the only one. I'm just going to highlight that. But Omos has joined AEW, and he'll be working under the name Jordan Omos, because I think his real name is, let's have a look, why not? His real name is it here? Yeah, this guy. Omogbehin. See, that's the trouble. I don't want to do that. So even though Omos is owned by WWE, Jordan Omos, that's his real name in a way. So he is now a part of our roster. Let's see what we can do with him. Following that, great news. Darby Allin is back. Woo! And I wonder where he's going to pick up his story, because he's got a lot of beef or a lot of unfinished conversations maybe with Sting, although we did see Sting on the phone to someone. That could have been Darby Allin. We'll have to wait and see. But also, I'm sure he still wants to be in that world title scene. So we're going to have to see, one, how he's doing, how he's feeling, and what he's got planned. And another interesting little email here is CM Punk seems to be clique building, forging an alliance between Bryan Danielson and Dax Harwood. Now that's a random trio. I mean, it's not a random trio, but that's a random trio. We know that CMFTR was a thing, but Bryan Danielson too? Very interesting. Just thought I'd share those 3 emails. Let's jump into creative and then take a look at the roster just to see if there's any pop changes, as we do after every event. Did we do that after the last one? Who knows? We're doing it now. See you guys in a sec. Okay, looking at the franchise players, I really like this description here. The wildly popular MJF. He has exceptional star presence and extremely impressive charisma. In terms of his appeal and ability to draw fans in, there is no question that he is currently our number 1 wrestler. Wow. I mean, yeah, I agree. Let's take a look. Next big thing is Hook, Takeshita, and Bandido. That makes sense. Trish Adora is on the list, though. That's nice to see. Might have to start using her a little bit more. Talk the talk. None of this is really going to change. Mercedes Moné has broken into that showstoppers category. Love to see that. Ring Generals. Roderick Strong. Psh, no, he's not. He's fucking does doggy numbers. Roderick Strong does. So that's a lie. But this is what I'm interested to see. Who's hot and who's not. I feel like Jeff Hardy's going to be here. I always make him lose. But who's hot? MJF. Jade Cargill, despite losing her TBS title recently, she's still got mad momentum. So that's good to see. Kenny, Takeshita, and Ray Phoenix is a star. And who's not? No one. Hey. And now let's look at the hidden gems. Anyone that we might want to bring in? Denzel is still up there. Calvin Tankman, Jacob Fatu, Eva Marie, 38 years old. Wow, she was good for 38. And then Matt Cardona. Cool. Let's jump into the roster because I just want to check out a few people's stats. I'll highlight a couple to you now, and then we'll end the episode because I feel like this is now dragging. But I'll see you guys in a mo. Okay, one person I do want to highlight, and that's mainly because I love the guy and I'm so happy it's paying off, is our boy Daniel Garcia, Rampage Garcia, the man with the hips. 24 years old as well. I thought he was a little bit older than that. But this is his progress of popularity since we have started this game. And 38, which I think he was on the lower mid. Now he's known as an upper mid carder, so he's known as a star or well known. And he's now got 50 whatever popularity. This is popularity as of today, but April 38, May 41, June 45-ish. Now he's in the 50s to 53s. That's great, and I'm so happy to see that. Is there anyone else here that I'm surprised is here? I mean, Omos is a top guy apparently. Let's see what's happening with MJF, because I'd love to see how popular. Let's look. Bryan Danielson, we're just looking here, guys. 74s to 75s. Punk, 84 in Great Lakes. That makes sense. And late 70s. Moxley, low 70s. I thought he'd be higher than that. MJF, high 70s, pretty much everywhere. 81 in the Great Lakes. Wow, look at all these high numbers. Unreal. And I mean, everyone lower than that don't really care about. But yeah, amazing. Let's just end it by looking at the man of the moment, MJF. 91. Oh, incredible. But yeah, that is going to conclude this episode. I'm sorry if the ending dragged a little bit. I just wanted to look at these numbers, and I'm sure you guys are interested in them too. Thank you very much. This episode went a lot better than I'd hoped in terms of numbers and grades. I'm very excited to see where we can go and how much stronger we can make our roster, our storylines, our titles, our shows, our everything. We are hot on the heels of WWE, because we are now in the late 60s. I think we're 68, 69 pop. I think WWE like low 70s. So I think by the time All Out comes, we could be the number one company in the world. But, you know, I might be jumping the gun there. But what we'll have to do is we'll have to just keep booking these amazing shows, and just keep thinking of great stories. And the best way for me to continue doing that is for you guys to continue supporting the work that I do. So I'm very grateful of all the views, likes, comments and stuff that I've got so far. And I hope that that continues to grow, just as these wrestlers will continue to grow under my command. But thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do it all. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.